kids, Mr. Greenebaum here to show you the last of the 3 graphs, how to make a sunrise, sunset, moonrise, moonset graph. This is my data, and I have my sandbox here, which just has September in it. I also see my temperature graph that I've made and my moon percentage graph that I've already made. I want to make one more, and that is to have the sunrise, sunset, moonrise, moonset, and the date in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose all my data by just sweeping over all of this, A through E, and that chooses all of them. Now I'm going to go to insert a chart, and there is the beginning of my chart. And what I can see are dots. Green and red, moonset and sunset, blue and yellow, sunrise and moonrise. Over here I see that on my x-axis is the dates, and on the y-axis in these series are all of these. What I want to do is I want to see those lines a little better. So I'm going to go to Customize and Chart Style, and I'll say Plot Null Values. And there it is. Here's my sunset line that's red. And here's my sunrise line, blue. I see my moonrise line, but it's kind of weird because this is a 24-hour clock, and here's midnight up here and here's midnight there. So this part of the line is actually not needed, just like this part of the green line is not needed. And to make sure that you understand, or the reader understands, that those aren't needed, what I'm going to do in this case is I am going to go to Series. And I am going to choose from here data labels. And when I do this, it inserts the time that all of these data points are talking of. Here's my 2006 data line that occurred early in the month, maybe September 3rd. And you can see as I go, the next time I was in class, it was 24 minutes after midnight is when the moon rose. And then 3:22 and 5:46, 8:14. You can also see that in this portion of the line, there was no data, and that's the important thing. And on this part of the line, there was no data. That's the important thing. So when we look at this graph, we can say that, oh, look, the moon set and the sun set at the same time, or they crossed right there. And the moon rise and the sunrise crossed right there. So if we drew a line right through there, I'll bet that's the new moon. And the new moon happened between the 13th and the 20th, maybe on the 16th or 17th. I can actually go to my moon graph and say, oh yeah, the new moon is right there, or right past it, right? Because it says 1% there. So maybe on the 17th, it was a new moon. If only we could overlay this graph onto now this graph, we would see that's where the new moon is, and that the full moon occurs when the moon rise crosses the sunset line, and the moon set line crosses the sunrise line. So now all I need to do here is edit it to make it better. And the way I'm going to do that is to go to Customize and Chart and Axis Titles. My chart title looks pretty good. Sunrise, sunset, moonrise, moonset for Piedmont, CA, September 2020. Now I'll go to my horizontal axis And instead of date, I'm going to call that September. And my units are in days. And my scaling statement, one line equals 7 days. And I'm going to check. Oh, look at that. I'm glad I double checked because I have an error there. I'm going to go here. Instead of A's, I'm going to make that days. Now I'm going to go to my vertical axis. And I'm going to call this time. My units are hours. And I'm going to say that one line equals 6 hours. 6 hours. Wow, that was quick and easy. Now I've got a quality graph here. And I can click here and say, move to own sheet. It says chart 7. I'm going to double click and call this SRSS MRMS graph Sept 2020. There it is. And I'm done. Done with all the graphs. Yay!